Hello everyone, I hope you are safe in your house. My name is Jonathan Contreras Cortez and with my colleagues Juan David Becerra and STIVEN Fuentes, together we are students of financial engineering. And today we will talk about the change of the consumer behavior and its impact in the ABA's market. ABA's means asset-backed security. Due to the pandemic that is happening right now around the world, the expansions that took more or less 10 years stopped and we are in a recession process. It's important to mention that that expansion was driven mainly due to the good performance and the strong performance of the consumer on those years, and additional to the general financial adjustment after the crisis of 2008. This pandemic, by affecting the large cities due to having a high level of agglomeration, has made two people think about their places to live and their residence. What that means is that they want to move from the cities to rural areas. Why? Because they want to be far from the crowd and because the cities were attracted to people mainly for two reasons. One of the reasons is because they have the opportunity, or the cities brings the opportunity to be close to their jobs, and the second one is the opportunity to socialize with their friends and families. For the first reason, the jobs, uh, work from home was a total success for the companies, and now it's not necessary to be in a city to work. And for the second one, the socialized distance measures are creating that the socialization is less and less, and spaces like bars and restaurants and cinema are not attractive to people, and they are trying to looking for a new ways to socialize with their friends and their families. One example of that is the open spaces, and that kind of open spaces uh, found in the rural areas. Additionally, as a result of the situation, the way of consumption and spending of the families is changing. Basically, they are no longer spend more money unnecessarily, and this affects directly to the ABA's market because one of the biggest sectors that help to grow the ABA's market is the consumer one. And these consumers, business and companies that depend on the higher culture of consumer is decreasing their profits. And the solution that right now is for these companies is try to adapt their business to the new needs of the community of people and move to a new strategic business. Depends on that, maybe the ABA's sector can grow and continue to give to the investors a good profits. Now I give the floor to my colleague Juan David.
For balance match real data. The COVID has become the concern of the markets. A growing fear is in consumer safety policies, ranging from autos to mortgages, are hiding the magnitude of the losses. Many of the insurers give time relief for their clients to recover. How it is sent the following are in optimal shape. It is something that does not fit with the unemployment figures and the possibility that this will continue to increase. Markets are not expected to show a recovery in B, especially emerging markets. When an economy opens on the stages, the millions of job losses may be permanent. Investors are the questions of the new rates and have updating their credit rates. Analysis. The questions to be answered is how does tolerating translate into real delinquencies? The $1,200 simulators and payment station for borrowers. The actual numbers can be much more serious than the data show. Programs lay carrots at highlight payments and the real impact. Lenders are expected to make more stations on the payments, give it and the payment favorites. The levels of tolerance will depend on the sector to which it belongs. Stations are usually 90 days. Right and with my partner Steve.
Good morning. Thanks, Juan David. The arrival of the COVID-19 has abruptly changed the think and needs of consumer ABS, which leads us with two vision, the sector in decline and the sector with new opportunities. And of the most esteemed sector in decline is aviation, from which a recovery is not as expected until you have a vaccine. Even to the sector has nothing assured saying some will prefer to travel by road, taking advantage of hotels at low pricing while level the line aviation. However, online shopping shows growth, but consumers do not spend money on large purchases that require small loans since they are not traveling, they are not going out, they are not making home improvements. Likewise, banks have training this credit criteria, which will allow the consolidation of two banks that adapted to the digital world and the new demands of consumers. On the other hand, there are the sectors with new opportunities, the pharmaceutical sector, the health sector, the data sector, and telephone infrastructure sector. This may have a staining of the activities to the will look for new financing methods in which investors will find value. Um, Thanks for listening and with wish you happy day.